Hello, myself Kalpana Choudhari, Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Srirampur. Today we are going to see the topic Chemical Thermodynamics from new revised syllabus of 12th standard from HSC board. Now this topic is for 6 marks out of 70 marks and out of 98 marks, that is for 8 marks. Compulsory for 6 marks and with option for 8 marks. Now let us see what is meant by chemical thermodynamics, but we should know what is meant by thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, that means thermo and dynamics. What is meant by thermo? That is energy. In the form of heat. Energy in the form of heat, that is nothing but thermo. And what is dynamics? Dynamics means motion or transformation. Thermodynamics, thermo plus dynamics. Thermo means energy, and here in chemical thermodynamics we are concerned with heat energy. And dynamics means we know that motion means transformation. And also what is motion? Motion means movement. Or transformation means change of form. Thermodynamics, that is nothing but motion and transformation of energy, that is change of form from one form to another form in the form of energy, and that energy is nothing but heat, and it is called as thermodynamics. Now let us see what is meant by change of form, how that change of form takes place. Change there are some common examples. First one, liquid water convert into water vapors. This is change of form. Liquid water is get converted into water vapors. Or second example, if we see, solid ice converted into liquid water. Solid ice is get converted into liquid water. Or if carbon burns and get converted into carbon dioxide. Here change of form, these are the some common examples, that liquid water is get converted into water vapors, solid ice is get converted into liquid water, or if carbon is burned, then that is get converted into carbon dioxide. These are the common examples. Now if we see the examples that is related with chemical thermodynamics, let us see in dry cell. In dry cell chemical energy is get converted into electrical energy. Chemical energy converted into electrical energy. And in electroplating of metals, electrical energy is get converted into chemical energy. In electroplating of metals, electrical energy is get converted into chemical energy. These are the changes of forms, or these are the transformation from one form to another form. Now let us see what is meant by thermodynamics. Actually, what is meant by thermodynamics? Thermodynamics concerned with energy changes, that is concerned with energy changes in physical and as well as chemical processes. That is thermodynamics that is related with energy changes with physical and chemical processes, that is called as thermodynamics. That is called as thermodynamics. Now we have to see what is meant by chemical thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is that gives idea about energy changes in physical and chemical processes, and we have to see what is meant by chemical thermodynamics. Chemical thermodynamics. Now chemical thermodynamics, it is the branch of thermodynamics that gives information of energy changes in chemical processes and also explains chemical behavior. It is the branch of thermodynamics. Which gives quantitative information. Of energy changes in chemical process and also explains its chemical behavior. Let us see here. Chemical thermodynamics, it is the branch of thermodynamics which gives quantitative information about what? Energy changes in chemical process and also explains whatever that chemical behavior is there in that system, that is explained in chemical thermodynamics. But here one thing is very important. Chemical thermodynamics that does not give idea about rate of chemical reaction or rate of that chemical process. Chemical thermodynamics does not give idea about rate of chemical reaction, and also chemical thermodynamics can't explain the mechanism involved in chemical process. These two things are important. Chemical thermodynamics does not give idea about rate of the reaction, does not explain detailed mechanism of the reaction. And so here in this topic we have to see the next concept, the basic terms used in chemical thermodynamics. Basic terms used in chemical thermodynamics. Now we have to see terms used in chemical thermodynamics. For that, consider one of the system. Consider one of the system. Now in this conical flask, some liquid is taken. In this conical flask, some liquid is taken and we have to study about this liquid. We have to study about this liquid. Then this liquid in the container, that is said to be system. That is said to be system, and the wall of that container, that is called as boundary. That is called as boundary, and outside the boundary except this system is called as surrounding. Outside the system, all other part is surrounding. These are the basic terms used in chemical thermodynamics: system, boundary and surrounding. And here all these are present in the universe. All these terms are present in the universe. So we can write universe is equal to system plus surrounding. Universe is equal to system plus surrounding. Now we have to define what is actually mean by system. Now here this liquid is taken for the purpose of study. But which study? Chemical thermodynamics related concept. So system, it is defined as the part of the universe. System, it is the part of universe under thermodynamic investigation. Under the study of thermodynamic, that is called as system. A part of the universe under thermodynamic investigation is called as system. And part of the universe other than system is called as surrounding. A part of the system, a part of the universe other than system is called as surrounding. So we can write here universe is equal to system plus surrounding. System, part of universe under thermodynamic investigation, and part other than system present in the universe, that is called as surrounding. These are the basic terms used in chemical thermodynamics. Now we have to see what is meant by this system. System means the part of the universe under thermodynamic investigation, and here there are different types of systems present. There are total 3 types of systems are there. Types of systems. types of system. There are total 3 types of system. First one, open system. Open system. Second type, there are 3 types of system: open system, closed system, and isolated system. Now we have to define what is meant by open system, closed system, and isolated system. Now in this container liquid is taken and this container is open. Then here what is open system? The system in which the amount of matter as well as the energy that is get exchanged between surrounding. The system in which matter as well as energy is get exchanged with its surrounding. This is system, and matter as well as energy that is get exchanged between matter and energy is get exchanged between system and its surrounding, that is called as open system. Now here what is meant by closed system? In this container that liquid is taken for thermodynamics study, but its mouth is closed, and hence here it is concluded that energy is get exchanged. Only energy is get exchanged between system and its surrounding, but not matter. The system in which only energy is exchanged between system and surrounding and not the matter, that is called as closed system. And the system in which matter as well as energy that are not get exchanged between system and its surrounding. Matter as well as energy are not get exchanged between system and its surrounding, that is called as isolated system. Open system, matter and energy both are exchangeable between system and surrounding. Closed system, there is only exchange of energy and not the matter between system and surrounding. And isolated system, there is no exchange, neither exchange of matter and nor the energy between system and surrounding, that is called as isolated system. And now next concept in this topic we have to see, that is properties of the system. There are 2 types of properties of the system. First one is property and intensive property. Now extensive means that depends on other. The property of the system which depends on amount present, which depends on amount of matter present in the system. The property of the system which depends on amount of matter present in the system is called as extensive property. It's called as extensive property. For example, mass. We know that mass of any substance that depends upon matter present in the system. Also volume that is also depends on matter present in the system, and such type of properties are called as extensive properties. Now what is meant by intensive property? The property of the system which is independent on amount of the property of the system which is independent on amount of matter present in the system, that is called as intensive property of the system. That is called as intensive property of the system. For example, temperature, pressure, that are independent. For example, if we consider 1 ml of the liquid and if we measure its temperature, and if we consider 1 liter of that liquid and if we measure the temperature, then there is no difference observed. So temperature is the intensive property. Also physical constant, melting point, boiling point of the chemical compounds, that are also intensive property. Because if we measure melting point of very small amount of the solid, and if we consider major amount of that solid, and if we find out melting point, then that melting points are observed to be same. So physical constant are also intensive properties. Extensive property which depends upon amount of matter present in the system. Intensive property which is independent on matter present in the system. Now let us see next concept from this topic, that is state function. State function, it is the function or it is the property which depends on current state, that is on initial and final. The state of the function, that is nothing but the property which depends upon current state of the system. Current state means initial state and final state of the system, but does not depends upon, independent of path followed by the system. State function, it is depends on current state of the system, that is on initial state and final state. Suppose P1 be the pressure of the initial state and P2 be the pressure of the final state. V1 be the volume of initial state, V2 be the volume of final state. T1 be the temperature of initial state and T2 be the temperature of final state. And number of moles N that remains as it is. Now this system, that function, the function which depends on initial states of the system and final states of the system, but not on the path followed by the system, such functions are called as state functions. Such functions are called as state function, which depends on initial and final state and not on the path followed by the system. And next concept we have to see, that is path function. Path function of the system, the function which depends on path followed by the system. Path followed by the system. The functions which depends on path followed by the system are called as path functions. For example, work and heat. Work and heat are path functions. Both these depends on the path followed by the system, and hence work and heat are referred as path functions and not the state functions. Work and heat are path functions and not state functions because that depends on path followed by the system. Now let us stop here. We'll see next concept in the next lecture.